Deep anterior lamellar keratoplasty is a procedure of choice for corneal pathologies sparing the posterior stroma and endothelium. In this video, we shall demonstrate deep anterior lamellar keratoplasty with big bubble technique in 7 clinical scenarios including macular dystrophy, vascularized corneal scar, advanced keratoconus with severe thinning, lipid keratopathy, repeat deep anterior lamellar keratoplasty and acanthamoeba keratitis. With an increasing understanding of the corneal anatomy, we now have an increased understanding of the different types of bubbles in corneal stroma. This video will highlight the importance of each bubble as seen in a variety of indications. We shall now begin with case 1, a 55-year-old male with a history of recurrent episodes of corneal infection in the right eye with a corneal scar of resolved herpes simplex virus keratitis. The host cornea was trephined with a 8 mm trephine. The center of the cornea was marked to coincide with the center of the trephine. 4 quarter circles were made. A Sinskey hook was used to gauge the depth of cut. A 16 suture marker was used to mark each suture. A LIMS forceps and a 15-number surgical blade were used to undermine and separate the anterior corneal stroma. With a 26-gauge needle, a tunnel was made inside the stroma and in that same tract a cannula with a side bore was inserted. Following air injection, the bubble could be appreciated with a wave-like margin expanding up to the scar. This bubble was formed under the deepest layer. An area away from the scar was marked and viscoelastic was applied over it to magnify it, as well as to avoid completely removing air while making the stab incision. It was a partial thickness incision with the use of an iris repositor. Lamellar dissection was achieved in all 4 quadrants. Now we were left with the bubble and its overlying stroma. The fixed folds on the posterior stroma were made visible. One could appreciate the bubble by gently massaging over the cornea with the cannula. We again marked the cornea and made another incision. A small air bubble came out indicating that the bubble wall had been punctured. With the help of Avanas and LIMS forceps, this opening was enlarged to reveal the thick fibrosed posterior stroma layer, which could possibly be the so-called Duas layer. We successfully performed rhexis on this layer to expose the Descemet's membrane. Over that, the donor button with the Descemet's membrane peeled away was placed and sutured in place with 16 interrupted sutures. The post-operative photograph reveals the clear stroma with attached Descemet's membrane. Our second patient is a 44-year-old female with the right eye having advanced keratoconus with apical corneal scarring. Preoperatively, the area of thinning on the cone was marked. This was a large cone sparing only a small crescentic superior area. After trephining and making the track, air was injected with a side bore cannula. One could appreciate the air traveling through the anterior stromal scar and forming the bubble in the most apical and thinnest area of the cone. The bubble was seen enlarging, wave-like until it reached the scar margin. This glassy or type 2 bubble was punctured at the marked incision site. An iris repositor, Vanas scissors to dissect the anterior lamella and expose the Descemet's membrane. 16 interrupted sutures were used to place the donor button. The first post-op date photograph shows clear cornea and attached Descemet's membrane. Our third case was 50-year male with a history of an increasing white opacity in the right eye since 10 years. One can appreciate deep vessels and a crystal-like appearance of the scar that's extended up to the deepest stromal layer. Anterior segment optical coherence tomography revealed that the level of scarring was pre-descemetic. Trephining was followed by removal of the anterior stroma with the help of a LIMS forceps and a 15-numbered blade. Air injection caused a shiny reflex inside the stroma, which was suggestive of bubble formation. We could appreciate that these were 2 bubbles indenting each other. After making an entry port and releasing the first bubble, the posterior bubble became more rounded and evident. However, while massaging the cornea surface, two more types of bubbles were noted. One bubble was fixed and the other bubbles remained mobile. The fixed bubble could be removed via the entry port by massage. Rhexis of the overlying predecimetic layer was performed and the donor cornea was sutured. This photograph at the 8-month follow-up shows best corrected visual acuity 20/30. The fourth case is of a 40-year male with macular dystrophy. After removal of the first layer of the stroma, an air injection was given with the help of a side-bore cannula. We can see the formation of an expanding type 1 big bubble with foggy white margin. The bubble wall was marked and punctured with the release of air. The cruciform incision was made to remove the residual stroma and the Descemet's membrane was exposed. The donor button was sutured. Our fifth case in this series is also of macular dystrophy in a 25-year male. Although the corneal pathology in both patients was the same, the type of bubble achieved differed. In this patient, following air injection, two distinct immobile glassy type 2 air bubbles were formed with well-defined margins. The bubbles were punctured and undermined, leaving the appreciable gap in predecimate layer. A triangular opening was made in this predecimate layer to make the visual axis clear. The sixth case is a 60-year female having a history of redness, pain and watering in the right eye since 2 months. On examination, we can appreciate a ring infiltrate encroaching the limbus. Microbiological examination revealed it to be an acanthamoeba keratitis. This video demonstrates a deep lamellar keratoplasty in a large 10.5 mm ring infiltrate. An 11 mm trephine size was used to make a gutter. Air was injected into the stroma with a 26 gauge needle. With air injection, the big bubble was formed, expanding up to the limbus. It is well-defined, foggy textured type 1 big bubble. Stroma removal and Descemet exposure was achieved. The last of our 7 series is a 45-year male, a known case of macular dystrophy, who had undergone deep anterior lamellar keratoplasty in his right eye 5 years ago. The slit lamp examination and OCT revealed the residual stroma of nearly 120 microns and scarring in the interface. The previous graft measured 8 mm. An incision was made in the graft host junction and blunt dissection was done to lift and remove the previous graft, which exposed the underlying stroma with deep vessels. Now, on this bed, with the help of side-bore cannula, a type 2 glassy collapsible big bubble was achieved, which increased in size on injection of air but collapsed on cannula removed. This overlying layer was removed to expose the Descemet's membrane and the donor button was sutured. The 2 weeks post-op date photograph shows a deep anterior chamber with attached Descemet's membrane and clear stroma. The visual acuity was improved and the cornea was more compact. We have seen different types of air bubbles in different indications. In corneas which have a scar involving the posterior stroma, the bubbles are more glassy, expand posteriorly like a wave, remain alongside the scar, and are not circumferential. In corneas without any scar, we saw type 1 bubbles with foggy margins, which expand circumferentially. In our 7-case series of deep anterior lamellar keratoplasty, we have clearly demonstrated the various stages and types of big bubble formation with their surgical implications.